Alright. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Noodle Network, the only channel on YouTube with 3 ways to play with your noodle. Alright, guys, so I know I promised some Battlefront, and I got a little busy, a little distracted, and we weren't able to fully get everything online, but we're gonna go ahead and try it out with Strike. So we're in the final, like, hour of this. I'm actually surprised that it hasn't gone offline yet, but we're going to try some of this while we can and get through as much of it as we are able to. I have been playing this basically non-stop, and I apologize for not streaming it yet. I got hooked in, and I couldn't stop. I really like the new Battlefront game. I really do. A lot of it has been improved. There are a lot of things that it needs to work on. The loot crate system is kind of broken. Other issues like the screen for Galactic Assault. When you're sitting there, you really have to camp on the hero if you want it. Otherwise, people just sneak up and snatch it from you. There are other things like, let me see here. Oh yeah. There are lots of bugs and glitches everywhere. I've been getting stuck in certain areas. Actually, you know what? I'm going to rephrase it. It's not a lot. It's just, it's a minimal amount of that. But one thing that they really need to work on is the hitbox detection, hit detection. I've noticed in many cases people are hiding behind walls like way out there. Like not even just at the edge, like way out there. And somehow they're able to hit me still. And I think that's a hit detection error because they're just the difference and just the distance alone seems really odd for them to be able to do. As you can see from that, we can dodge roll however we like now. Oh shit. But the dodge rolling has been fixed immensely, and I am so happy about that because that makes the game a lot easier, a lot better to play. Now, in return, oh, let's just kill this guy right here. Oh damn! I didn't see right there, like right there, where he's standing from. There's no real angle for him to get at me without moving for a few seconds. Let's go. But that aside, that aside, there's not a whole lot to be said against the beta. It's a beta, you know, it's not completed stage. It is closed though. They'll have like, I think less than a month now. Some's on the 17th. A little bit more than a month. A little bit more than a month to get this done. A little bit more than a month to get this done. And I'm not sure that's enough time to correct everything. I'm a little concerned for it. I do feel like they may have, and don't quote me on this because I'm not really sure, but I feel like a lot of the content that they promised is more content that's going to come out in waves. I don't know if that's going to come out like full blast, like it was insinuated. However, that aside, there's still a lot of great content in here. It's a lot better than the first one, but that doesn't really say much to it either. Because the first game had a lot of flaws in it, and I know I talked about that before on my VR episode, but to just back it up again, the first game had a lot of flaws to it, and I'm really hoping that the second one's going to be a lot better. Looks like they're pushing the artifact. Let's get that. We kill each other on that one. Alright, so to get things down, the beta here... Oh, what's going on? The stream down? No, the stream's up. Okay. I'm with you. Okay, yeah, no, stream's up. Alright, sorry about that, folks. I couldn't tell if it was on or not. But anyways, so, like I said, the beta is, you know, it's in its final stages. It's got to be close. But they have a lot of work to do for a month. And I'm not sure how well it's going to do, especially with the flaws that the first one had. But I have faith. I'm actually gonna pre-order it. I mean, obviously I pre-ordered it because I'm playing I was playing the beta beforehand. But what I'm thinking is I'm definitely gonna pre-order it. I'm definitely gonna keep the pre-order on it. Fuck, sorry. I'm I'm so distracted by the game. I'm so sucked into it. But I think I'm definitely gonna keep the pre-order. Honestly, I think it's a worthwhile game so far. Do I think it's going to be worth the $60 an end run? I don't know. It depends on how well it performs, how well they fix up the bugs and everything. Personally, for me, I'm a huge Star Wars nerd, so to me, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer that I'm going to get it. It's a lot of fun. I think they seem to have fixed a lot of the bugs. They seem to have taken a lot of hints from the Battlefield community, which it's not a bad thing per se, but it does feel more like Battlefield right now than Battlefront in some areas. But that aside, I feel like Battlefront 2, the beta for it so far, is still an independent game. It still feels like Battlefront, but there's heavy Battlefield tones to it.
Down covering fire. Secure the back.
Damn. Not done yet. It also feels like since the pre-order bonus ended, that the games have gotten far more intense, far more intense, and
throwing grenade.
And sorry, the intensity is high. There are moments where you will be freaking out, like I am right now when I get sucked into this.
Package is secure.
I will say this: the loot crate system is a little broken in terms of their descriptions. In terms of the descriptions, the loot crate bonus stuff, the loot crate stuff doesn't really work like it's intended. There are categories for it.
They've taken the package.
Fuck this flame trooper. Oh, he was dead a while ago. So that's another thing. The flame stays on there after he dies for a long time, so it's hard for us to tell if the flame trooper is dead or not. But anyway, so the loot crate system. The loot crate system, like I said, it doesn't work as described. As described on it, there are 3 separate cases. One for starfighters, one for heroes, and one for regular troopers. The problem with that is that no matter which loot crate you pick, you're gonna get some of each, so it really doesn't matter, and you could just go for the least expensive one and get the cool stuff for it anyways, for whatever you're looking for. That doesn't really affect you at all, and that's kind of stupid.
Packages on the ground. Keep an eye
There we go.
on it.
And that's kind of stupid just because it feels like they're kind of cheating you, and it's a broken overall system, which I personally don't care for. I've never really liked the loot crate system, but it's not the worst way to go about it. I could think of a lot worse, and it feels like, at least for the loot crate system here, for right now, which is a beta-based project, you're able to earn points by playing the game to get more loot crates. And I never felt pressured to buy a loot crate ever, which is nice. But I will say, the amount you get for each game is incredibly low. It's about 100 to, I think my highest was 260, 265. And you need a minimum of 1,000 to get it. To get a loot crate. 1,100 is, I think, the highest. I want to say either that or 12. But either way, it's just it's not enough to be gained there. And besides the loot crates, another thing that's been bothering me in this is that, and something you'll notice in the modes as you play more and more, is that the modes are still imbalanced. They're still imbalanced to one side or the other, and it feels like they're not trying their best to reorganize and rebalance the games in terms of difficulty. What I mean by that is, like, obviously in the first one... What the hell? Oh, there we go. Obviously in the first one, Walker Assault was incredibly imbalanced. It was always leaning towards the Imperials, and the Rebels had an incredibly tough time. And I get that they were trying to create the experience so that you would be more immersed and feel like you were in the Battle of Hoth. But at the same time, this is a game. This isn't a movie. There's no necessity for you to be like feeling, oh, well, I have to play it out the way the movie went, because it's a game. You're supposed to have like different outcomes. You're supposed to have a feeling of pushing this, but at the same time, equality. And because Walker Assault was like that, it made it feel just uneven and just not fun, because you always knew you were going to lose when you were on the Rebel side, and if you were on the Imperial side, you felt the other way around. And it wasn't, like, I guess I shouldn't say always, but a large majority of the time it was so. The same thing goes for this game, Strike. The Resistance is basically the side to beat on. If you're on the Resistance's side, you're gonna win more times than none. There are obviously chances for you to lose, but it's much easier to play as Resistance than the First Order in Strike. As for Galactic Assault, hold on a second. Galactic Assault basically has a it's more balanced, but at the same time, it's still difficult. Oh, that guy's a jet trooper. There we go. Got him.
Deploying rapid fire.
Package is on the ground.
There we go. That got me nervous for a second. He almost got it there. But the Galactic Assault is basically a little bit better in terms of balance, in terms of what team you are. But it's still a lot easier to be the not the Resistance, the Republic clone troopers than the Separatist battle droids. And I guess they're trying to make it feel somewhat more like a game than a movie, but they're not doing it fully hard enough. Oh god, almost didn't get that guy. But it just doesn't seem like it's being done hard enough, so it feels half-assed in a little way. I think they still need to really work on the balancing issues, because otherwise it's going to be it's not going to be ready from beta transition to full game.
Get behind me.
See right here, like, this is intense. This is intense as crap. Oh my god, it's so intense right now. Like, we're right next to it and we barely reset it. Hunter, thank you for coming across the channel. I appreciate it. Thank you for the comments. Yeah, man, if you wanna do that, I'll get in contact with you and we'll talk it out. Thanks for coming across the Noodle Network. I appreciate it. I hope we do good videos. I don't know about awesome, but I hope we do okay videos. Okay is good, right? Anyways, all right. So now the goal is to get the package and move it across the map. Or no, that's for the first order. Is to get it across the map. God damn it. Oh, got it. Sorry, I get sucked into this game way too easily. I know it has its flaws, but for all flaws it has in the game, and I'm being critical of it for you guys to let you know and inform you on what's bad in the game so you don't make a bad purchase if you don't like it. But personally, for me, as a Star Wars nerd, I absolutely love this game so far. There's been so much good to it. Galactic Assault is by far the best mode. Being able to play as Rey or Maul, it's been so much awesomeness. The designs, the graphics are out of this world beautiful. I mean, look at that. That looks really, really good. And not the best thing I've ever seen, true, but it's still damn good. And now I can play as a Wookiee when you get enough points. Oh, I should explain the point system, and I'll do that when I get to the menu next. Sorry, guys. I completely forgot about that. It's easier to illustrate when I have the menu up, so that's why I'm going to wait. Holy shit, who the hell is shooting me? It's hard to aim with the Wookiee, though. Yeah. See, right there, I got stuck on that stupid thing.
Around that area.
That's another thing, is I've been finding areas to get stuck on, and unfortunately, that's a problem that has been pretty prevalent in the beta, at least, and I hope it gets fixed.
Enemy forces picked up the package.
Where are you going? Damn it. Oh, so another thing is the rocket troopers. You'll notice they're only a class now. You don't get a rocket, at least not in the beta, for your regular guys, which kind of makes the game more difficult because you're not able to move across the large distances as quickly. And yeah, there are a lot of there's a lot of space in the maps. There's a lot of space. Galactic Assault in particular is probably one of the biggest maps, and in the Battlefront 1 and 2 that I've noticed, at least.
They've reached the extraction point. It's too late.
They beat us.
They wanted with that thing, they have it now.
Well, that's unfortunate. Anyways, so obviously you've got your typical end screen here showing the points and everything and the top players. Anyway, so the point system, I want to clarify on that, which is something I'm kind of split on. I'm not sure if I enjoy it or if I dislike it. It's not as fair to every player. And the idea that you have to get a certain amount of points, here I'll show you, for each of these two guys, which are the special troopers. You've got the jetpack trooper, and you've got the flame trooper. Now, here's the thing about the flame trooper. The flame trooper is not that good outside. He's better in enclosed areas. You're going to want to find tight enclosed areas. In the beta stage and strike, basically anywhere inside of Maz's palace. Because he's a close range, he's not meant for far distance. You're gonna get fucked up if you try to get him outside. You know, just a warning. The jetpack trooper, however, is the exact opposite. Do not get him in close range. He doesn't have as high a health as the fire trooper, or flame trooper. And the jetpack obviously meant to cover large distances and maneuver around other troops. The respawn time for the jetpack is very, very good, I will say that. And I think that's one of the reasons they made it a special class. However, because the maps are so big, I don't really see the point in doing it. it seems counterproductive to do that, because then you're just running forever. And at times I have felt like this game is basically one giant running simulator, which is not a good thing at all. I had as for the point system itself, though, you know, it's 2,000 for the Jetpack Trooper, 3,000 for the Flame Trooper. But if you're playing Galactic Assault, you're going for a 5,000 point bonus on it. You're going for 5,000 points if you're going for a hero. And that can be really tough for newcomers and people who aren't the best at this game. And that feels unfair. That feels unfair because there are going to be nerds out there, myself included, who are just way too good, way too quick to the draw, and get all the points, and then the newcomers can't really get the hero, and that could frustrate them and make them want to leave the game, and that's not something you want to do. Now, the point system is good in the idea that it takes skill. It's rewarding the players with the most skill and abilities. That is nice. But I'm still hesitant to say it's a good system, a great system. It's an okay system, it is. And I think it's passable, definitely. But I don't know if it's great because it really disadvantages the weaker players. One thing I will say, also in addition to that, and I mentioned it briefly at the beginning, is that when you get to the menu, you can camp on a hero. And you can wait there until someone's gone by and they die as the hero. And that can be a major flaw. One that I really want to criticize, because this should not be about, oh, well, you know what, such and such has it. Well, you know what, I have 5,000 points now. I'm going to camp on that hero, wait for it to go by, and then I'm going to quickly snatch it out of someone's hands who is maybe doing better than you, maybe getting 8,000 to your 5,000. And that kind of sucks. That sucks. It's a flaw in the game, and I really hope that they correct it, because you shouldn't be able to camp like that. There should be a timer on that, at least, so that it's more fair. Because if you're waiting and you're camping on it, it makes everyone frustrated. It makes everyone upset. And honestly, I've run into that a few times. People will also in the game, because it's so difficult to get the hero, will run up, get the hero, and then just camp with the hero for a while. And yet, no, the heroes in this game are made weaker in a sense and stronger in a sense. Weaker in the sense that it's much easier to damage them, much easier to get to their health down real quick. I actually went in there my first time and died within like 10-15 seconds because I had no idea what I was doing. But it's also stronger in a sense because they have a lot more health. They have a lot more damage. Or no, not damage. I'm sorry. They have a lot more health. But the damage ratio, I would say, is down a little bit on them. Something that's weird for when you have a lightsaber. But I guess they want to make it more fair in terms of gameplay statistics. And I do agree on that side. Sorry, let's get back to the gameplay. Sorry, guys. One last thing in terms of the heroes and the villains is, and I hate to say it, but it's when you're playing as like Maul or Rey, especially, and what I know is I didn't really play as Han or Boba that much, but when I was playing as Rey and Maul, I would notice there would be times where I would repeatedly try to strike someone. Stupid jetpack trooper. I would repeatedly try to strike someone, and the hit detection would be off a little bit. Not horribly bad, but enough that it felt like, damn it, enough that it felt like it was still something that needed to be improved. But enough of the heroes, enough of the trooper combat. How about the starfighter base system? And I am, god damn, dying.
The package has been dropped.
Anyways, I am happy to report about the starfighter base system. It's been improved. Has it been vastly improved? No. Actually, if I would say anything, the starfighter-based combat in atmosphere on a planet has been, I don't know if it's made worse, but it's definitely not been made better. It definitely still feels clumsy, cluttered, and overall kind of, oh, we almost got it there. It's been made just to feel like, you know, you're too close to the ground at times. It feels like, it honestly feels like what happened was they made it so that there just wasn't enough space for you to get around in. I kept crashing with the vehicles, but to be fair, I'm not really that good with starfighters. But when I was in space, because there is a map for space based off of, I'm assuming Skaro, or not Skaro, the Rogue One planet.
Taking point.
Ah, damn it. But it's based off the Rogue One planet at the very end. I can't remember what that was. Oh my god, Ascaro, I just said... Sorry, I just got my fandoms mixed up. Doctor Who, everybody. But anyways, the planet based off of the Rogue One movie at the end is in space. It's in space, which is nice. But despite the fact that it's in space... Yeah, we got it out of there. We got it out of there. We did it. Oh my god, that's so freaking difficult. I'm sorry, guys. You have to really concentrate with that shit. The space battles for the starships, the starfighters, it's done a lot better. And we're gonna quit out of Strike for a minute to show you what it's like. But the space-based combat is a lot better. It feels a lot more fluid. It feels like you can actually damage other people. They have added this icon that when you get close to another starfighter or an object to destroy, there will be a little circle in front of it, and that's where you fire at in order to get damage with your lasers. You fire there, and that's basically calculating the time to distance ratio for your lasers to their ship. And that's actually something that I really enjoy, something that I really like. Let's see if we can get into it. Because the beta was supposed to have ended, like, how much long ago? Like, an hour ago, it looks like. So I'm glad it's still on. But basically, besides what I've mentioned already for the starfighters, it's a lot easier to maneuver inside on the space station, at least that I've noticed. And I'll illustrate to you my point while I'm playing. Sorry, I gotta turn this down. Yes, these are my volume controls. Alright. The most important thing to note, and I can't believe I didn't say this already, and I didn't illustrate it on the just soldier class, but here on the thing, in the menu, there are a lot of customization options. A lot. You can pretty much customize anything in the game that you can play as. The ships, the heroes, the villains, the regular troopers, the special troopers, the special ships added to it, the hero and villain ships. Everything is pretty much customable that you can play as. And it's really nice. You can customize the guns, the star cards. You still get 3 star card slots on but it's on everything now. It's on ships and with troopers and with heroes and villains, which is nice because I have loved the heroes and villains aspect to it. Let me see here. Okay. All right, so let's give Starfighter a try. We'll see how well this goes. I do want to say right now, unfortunately, this will be a little bit of a shorter stream because I'm running on a tight schedule. But here's the good news, folks, is that I will be back this afternoon. We're going to be continuing with Cuphead, and it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, here we go. So right there, eliminated one already. And if you swing that little circle in front of him, that's where you fire at. Oh, shit. So that just illustrates another problem. There's some lag still with the game.
Do not allow them to complete their bomb.
I've got nothing.
Ah, damn it. So there is still lag with the game, and I'm not landline, I do Wi-Fi, so it's probably more difficult for me because of that. But it's still an issue that needs to be dealt with. The lag can sometimes break the game for you. You can sometimes be stuck there. It's not nearly as bad as the first one, but just because it's not nearly as bad as the first one doesn't make it good. Yeah, okay, I got another player. Alright.
Let's consider it even.
Another one down. Alright.
I'll keep flying as long as I can. Not looking good.
One thing I will say is the objectives in this can take a long ass time. Like, like those turrets, they take a while to destroy, and I'm not sure that they should be that endurant, that resistant to blaster fire, and missiles as well. But you never, I don't know. I'm not really good with fighter-based combat. You know. Anyways. There we go. Another one bites the dust, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
Our defenses have sustained heavy damage. They can't take much more. The rebel numbers will fit. Use this moment.
Come on. Oh shit. Gotta get that Y-wing. Yeah, got him. Oh, it's a kill assist. Oh, we won. Okay. Whoa. See, that's cool. Fucking Star Destroyer just like, boom, right in on that ship. I never mentioned the Starfighter combat. In the Starfighter combat, it is a lot easier to play as the Imperials and the Rebels, but oddly not as difficult as in Strike or as in Galactic Assault, I found, in order to win the game. One thing that I think also needs to be added into this, and it's something that is with any multiplayer-based combat game, is that in all the modes here, hold on a second. I like these little intros, they're really cool. But anyways, in any first-person shooter or any multiplayer game-based thing, especially shooters in particular, you will find people who do not play the objective, and then you will find people who play the objective intensely. The problem is, so far, in terms of like all the games that I've played, you've either got teams that are not playing the objective at all in the match, so like in Galactic Assault, when you're supposed to go after the ion cannons, or in Strike, where you're supposed to deliver the package from one point to the other, they don't do it. It's more prevalent in Galactic Assault so far than Strike or Starfighter. Starfighter's probably the second worst in terms of that. But I think they need to make the objective like a little more clear to them, because I'm not sure if it's that people just don't understand and they think it's just a first person, you know, you go out and deathmatch each other, or if it's actually players just playing it as a deathmatch. I don't know if they're treating it like that, and that kind of ruins the mode. It ruins the mode for the objective players, the players who are playing the objective. And as someone who plays the objective very strongly, it is very annoying to run across players who will just ignore ion cannons, run straight up to other troopers and try to get the highest kill count. It could also be related to the issue of people going after the heroes constantly and not putting enough effort into playing the objective and winning the game. And because of that, it makes it frustrating as hell. It does, and it's a subjective issue because it's the player and not the game itself. So that's something that needs to be worked on. There needs to be something that can be switched around to help that, because that is incredibly agitating to people who play the objective like myself. I admit I do still go in for kills as well, but come on, there we go. There we go. Just the tip. Jesus. Some of these names, I'll tell you that much. Holy crap.
Ship can't take much more.
Our blockade runners are here.
Come on.
Keep the Imperials off them, and they will
Yeah.
deal out serious damage.
Oh, there we go. Ended my 3-player kill streak on that. See, as someone who's not good at ship-to-ship combat, this mode, the starfighters do feel a lot more balanced. They feel a lot more balanced in terms of strength and defense. And I think the fact that the map is so gigantic here definitely helps me feel more secure in my ability to play the game.
Keep at it. Structural failure imminent.
Yeah! Just blew it up.
One cruiser
Let's
down.
get this one next, too.
They're taking out my shield.
X-ring down.
Damn. Oh, there is one thing I should add to it, though, is that I feel like there are moments when I'm playing Starfighter that it feels like I'm not, I'm not doing it, I'm sorry, not that I'm not doing it well, that I'm doing better because the objectives here, not the objectives, but some of the pilots on the other ships, oh god. I did not see that incoming missile. But it feels like sometimes they're, sorry, I lost my train of thought on that. I'll come back to it. Okay. Oh, the objectives. Sometimes it feels like the objectives are, there's too many of them. Maybe they should be more, either more difficult, less difficult, something in there, because otherwise it just feels like it's clustered and it's just not working like it should with the mode. See, that was my fault. I curved the ship too much to the left. However, in atmospheric-based combat with a starfighter, you will feel at times like you've been cheated because the turning system of the ship is too sensitive in atmosphere. Outside of atmosphere, in space, it feels fine. Like, this feels fine. Like, it feels like you're supposed to be turning this much. Given how much I'm turning the controller, you can actually see how much I'm doing it. It feels accurate. In atmospheric-based combat with starfighters, though, it moves way too quickly. It's like see this? Like right here, where I'm just turning around in a circle. It would have done it by just tapping it, and that's an issue that needs to be solved. Okay, actually, gonna back up. Okay, guys. So, I'm gonna end the stream here, and I'm sorry that it's so short, but I'm gonna go over my final, just assessments of this before I do a final base video. I will do a video based more on the Galactic Assault than anything else, just so I can show you. But from what I've seen so far of the game, do I think it's worth 60 bucks? 80 bucks? I don't think it's worth the 80 bucks. I don't feel comfortable with buying a game that's $80, especially not one that's going to have microtransactions based on the loot crate based system here. It's almost guaranteed you're going to have microtransactions. Almost guaranteed. I don't know if they said it 100% yet, but from looking at it, look at you purchase them with Republic credits you can earn in the game, yeah, but the crate system itself is pretty evident in that every game that has crates, you're going to have to fork over some money eventually. I'm not happy with that at all, and I hope that they choose to change it. But EA, I played your games. I know you're probably not going to. Anyways, guys, that aside, on Star Wars Battlefront, I do feel maybe you should, if you're not a hardcore Star Wars fan, if you're thinking about the game but you don't know if you want to do it completely yet, hold off till $50. Hold off till you can get a used copy. Because if you can get a used copy at GameStop, you can always just return it based on their policies. You can always do that if you don't like it. But if you're a Star Wars nerd like myself, if you loved the first one for whatever reason, I will never know. But if you enjoyed the first one, or if you enjoy the Battlefront series, I would recommend going in at $60. I do feel like it's a worthwhile buy so far. Do I think it'll hold its weight? That I'm not 100% sure on. I don't know how they're going to distribute the DLC. There have been rumors that they're changing their minds, that they're going to charge for the DLC, but those are just rumors. I can't say one way or the other. But I do believe it's worth $60 to a Star Wars nerd like myself. I think it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of improvements been made on the gameplay. Graphically, it's still as good as the first one, if not better, honestly, in their attention to detail. Just some of the biggest flaws right now is the loot crate system. In particular, I don't like it. Get rid of it or make it free. Or enhance the ability to get points inside game. Something like that, because right now the loot crate system, it's not broken per se, but it is very damaging to other players. That aside, guys, I think that's going to be it for Battlefront right now. We are going to be on in the afternoon about 4 to 5-ish for Cuphead. I do have a special guest coming over. He's going to be streaming live with me. We're going to have a lot of fun with that. So we will see you guys later about 4 or 5-ish to do a stream. I think it's going to be maybe an hour or two. Not an extremely long stream, just based on his schedule. We'll see how long we can get us in there for. Probably closer to 4:30 now that I'm thinking about it. Anyways, guys, thank you for joining me here on the Noodle Network, and I will see all of you lovely folks next time. Take it easy, everyone.